Seeing as I have a couple of negative videos lined up for both my channels in the near future, today is my birthday, so I would actually like to have a positive video on my birthday, and that being about probably my favorite game of all time before my current era of gaming, which uses the internet, utilizes social interactivity, and all that stuff, and that game would actually be Halo Reach. Now, the idea for this video came from earlier today. I just woke up, it was my birthday, and I flicked through YouTube and I got recommended a trailer for the game that came out 9 years ago. 9 years Halo Reach came out, and the reason my birthday also reminded me of this game was bought for me on my birthday roughly 8 years ago, so it's quite a intertwined game into my early childhood and gaming. It really is the game that truly got me into gaming. I mean, I played Halo 3, I played COD World at War, and Zombies was cool. Nazi Zombies was really cool. World at War's campaign gripped me. The multiplayer was amazing, even if the MP40 and PPSH were broken. Halo 3, its sandbox was very nice, but its netcode was trash, so I couldn't really love those games. But when Halo Reach came out, and I saw the Forge mode, Forge World, all this stuff, it just made me love the multiplayer aspect, and I got to play it before I actually bought the game. And just the sheer scale of things upgraded from Halo 3. I always say Halo Reach is my favorite Halo, probably just because it's my first one, but just the sheer scale in comparison to Halo 3 made me love the game. And only when I bought the game did I realize that I was only experiencing a chunk of the game, because the story is absolutely amazing. And that's where this all ties into the trailer, which I will start playing in the background. The music and the scenes, it's all composed brilliantly, and that is not by any chance random. Bungie knew that this was probably their last game for the Halo series. They went a more rustic feel, or more hopeless feel, which Halo isn't very known for, because Halo is very power fantasy. You think about your Halo 1, and you're just mowing aliens down in flood infection forms. You're just mowing them down, because you're the fucking Master Chief. You are going to destroy everything in front of you, right? In Halo 2, it's the same. Oh, I'm back on Earth. Let me just obliterate everyone in front of me. That is how Halo 2 is. Halo 3 even is quite the game where the campaign, even though it had like little senses of, oh no, this could all go wrong, no, you're the Master Chief, you're gonna mow through everything. And Halo Reach, when your first noble partner dies, and yes, spoiler, but like this game's 9 years old, like come on, play the game if you haven't played it, amazing game. When your first Spartan teammate dies, you start feeling like, okay, we're not all getting out of this, right? And then another one drops, and then another one, and then another one. One escapes, but hey, nobody cares. That's Jun or June, or however you want to say his name. Irrelevant character, right? And then the twist at the end of the game is the last stand, Lone Wolf, which you're just left to die, essentially, because you need to fulfill the Mac Cannon mission, and you need to stay back to shoot all the ships to make sure the Pillar of Autumn can get off, and then Halo 1, 2, and 3 chronologically work. And I loved the story so much that it was the only game back then in my childhood that I completed Legendary All Skulls on, just because I thought the campaign's design, the story that was told, just the feel of it, I loved it all. I really did. What an amazing game. Actually, the best game. And also, the reason I'm talking about Halo Reach is because it has now just been announced to be on the Master Chief Collection at 60 frames per second. And this is the reason I don't play Halo Reach anymore. It's at 30 frames, and I mean not to sound stuck up or privileged, but anything that runs under 60 frames gives me motion sickness. Like, I'm not even joking. I can't look at previous games that weren't COD on the previous gen because they actually hurt my eyes, and it really sucks because there were some masterpieces on last gen that I just really can't play anymore. And now with the new gen, we have Halo Reach coming at 60 frames per second. I don't expect to get my full passion back for the game, but of course I'm going to play the game because I love Halo Reach, right? Another thing Halo Reach did for me, and this is actually pretty ironic that it's a YouTube video, but it's actually the game that first introduced me to YouTube, right? My first ever YouTube video was and I know this is going to sound really classic to anyone that was in the Halo community way back, but the Halo Forge Epidemic, THFE. when they used to do their map showcases in the Forge mode, Avalanche, Landslide, the zombie infection maps, the haunted house maps, they were really amazing. I remember I used to tune in every single video. The race maps were insane. Cobra 8, oh my god. These were the things that got me into YouTube, just watching like really heavy amounts of YouTube, because I loved watching people's creativity on the platform, and it was a very different time for YouTube back then. Very uncensored and not very compressed down. Censored is probably the best word, actually. Just there was none of this current day bullshit, essentially. Back then it felt really free, and I just loved watching every content creator come together and make that channel and then showcase maps on the game that they love, and it really made me want to do YouTube in the future. It really pushed me the idea of, okay, I want to do YouTube on something I love. Now, as you can see with this channel, I've bounced around with ideas a lot. I think right now I just want to upload what I want. I'm not putting myself into one, place. I might do an Overwatch League video here when playoffs hit. I might do a COD video here because I want to talk about how shit COD's multiplayer is at times. Maybe I want to talk about what Zombies is like right now, which isn't actually as bad as some people think. Maybe I want to talk about Halo. Maybe I want to talk about other games in my past, like, I don't know, Spyro for all I care, Burnout 3. What classic games that really are my childhood, and these are my passions, right? And I have started a second channel for my other passions. If you guys find it, you guys find it, but like, it's not really for everyone, I'd assume. You know what, no, I'm not even gonna hide what the content is. It's an anime, manga, that's, I'm really into that stuff. But, Halo Reach is where all this stuff stems from. The creativity of the Forge mode, and I dare say every map should have a map editor in some way. I mean, every game should have a map editor in some way. Because it forces creativity, it forces people to think about how to get featured on channels such as, way back in the day, the Halo Forge Epidemic. It forces creative thinking, it forces problem solving, it forces economics in some way to make the game not crash by using too many blocks or by going over the in-game budget. You have to just know how to manage that stuff, and I think it teaches a lot of different skills that are very applicable to our current day. And of course, Halo Reach, amazing game. I really can't stress enough that I'm happy that it's coming to the Master Chief Collection, which it should have been included on day one, but that's a lot of content. That would have been 5 games day one, but what are you gonna do? That's all I wanted to go on about, and I hope you can sort of see my perspective with Halo Reach. It really was the game that started it all for me. And then it was what led me into Zombies, what led me into Overwatch, what led me into just COD in general, I guess. It really was the beginning, and I think that's really cool, and I think the best day to talk about that was on my birthday, the very beginning. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and ciao.